think we're always improving. He's always trying to improve us, and it's all helping our sport, so well done. Stu Latham looking very tidy out here at the moment for his second run.
Yeah, Stewie Latham really has learnt a lot in the 12 months that he's been racing in New Zealand. Of course, was racing over in Western Australia, got a job offer over here, and has taken that up, and he's loving life in New Zealand and loving jet sprinting over here, and that's a pretty good time for Stewie Latham with a 54.263. So that's a really good time for Stewie Latham, and James Hayden doing the navigational duties.
Oh, he'll be chuffed with that. You know, the Fowler Holmes Group A, this class is a very, very hard class to race. And if you have a look, we've got a lot of competitors in this class today, but it comes down to the 1/100th of a second. At the skinny end of the day, there's 5 or 6 boats chasing 1/100th. And it just gets tighter and tighter and tighter. It's great to see. Here's a new man, another Naki man, Scotty Andrews.
Toby Rice doing the navigational duties here, and only the second of Ford engine racing, of course, the other Ford engine in the superboats with Richard Murray. Now, what are we expecting to see from these guys, mate? Bit on and off the throttle off the start.
He is. He's obviously got a bit of slippery going on there, but no, he's easing into it, Scotty. He's a big tractor man from the Naki. Does a lot of contracting, him and his father, in a big business down there, and he's also got massive pumps. He pumps a lot of water into our track, actually. So this is only his first ever event in this boat. Just got it going. The Ford's a nice sounding motor. He's certainly on and off the gas a bit, but he's got the rotation going well at the moment.
Yeah, look, while he's a little bit on and off the gas, he's not like some new drivers that we see which are on hard, off hard, on hard. So he's trying to feather it, find that sweet spot, get the rotation right. And I think that whoever's been having a bit of a chat here to Scott Andrews, he's gone the wrong way,
he's just
needs to turn the right.
Yep.
But whoever's been having a talk to him about finding that sweet spot for this meeting has done a really good job. He's listened to the right people.
That's it. Can his nav get him back on track here? This will be the one. Let's see what Julie's arm does. Yes, he's back. So that's a great job. So for their first meeting, first nav era, she's got him back. They're all back on charge again. Let's see if they can bring it home nice and tidy.
Gee, that's really interesting. Quite often you see with the rookies, particularly in their second ever race lap, if they get it the wrong way, if they get the rotation wrong, they never ever get back on track again. So
that's
this
right.
bodes very well for this brand new team.
No, it was a great effort. So normally it does rattle them. You know, driver gets upset, can't hear things, you start arguing in the boat, but that was a very casual way of getting back on track and bringing them home.
And a 123.917. So, look, again, I am so impressed that they managed to get it right, you know, get the rotation, sort out where they went wrong and figure it all out, because I'll tell you what, trying to work out track direction is like, you know, a dying blowfly all over the joint as far as I can see.
He's on the board with Miss Ford, and he's also driving a Ford, so well done, Scotty. This man, Lockie McMillan, another Taranaki boat, Fowler Holmes himself, owns a contract, had a bit of trouble that first time out, clipped the top island up there like Kelly did earlier on. Let's see if he just want to get round and get one on the board as well.
The interesting part about the track here at Wanganui, we've got this big sweeping curve, or grabbed the inside there as well, did Lockie, but we've got this big sweeping curve right up to the top end of the track, and then it really tightens up there and catches the uninitiated unaware.
He's feathering that throttle a bit. Oh, he got her out there a little bit hairy coming out of that top corner again. But no, look, he's learning heaps. Lockie's got lots and lots of passion for the sport. Obviously been a class sponsor. Oh, he's here comes the hip, and this could be really hairy.
Oh, he really tight, rubs the tyres, gives him a really good hip and shoulder. That's the sort of action you see in the in a mall.
He was just trying to clean those tyres up for later on, I think, in the day, but he's got round. Still giving that throttle a fair bit of a hard time at the moment. We might have to go in there and put a bit of a stick under it just to help him out. But look, at the end of the day, if he can bring around home here,
well, he's having a couple of bites and a couple of chews. He's a bit hard on the wheel at certain points. Oh, Billy grabs the inside.
There he goes.
And up, over, saved it, yes, no. Oh, it's all over. But I tell you what, Lockie McMillan, first, second race meeting, that is very exciting. We've got to keep an eye on this bloke. He is going to be absolutely unreal. And
a time of 105.948. He's on the board. He's got to be happy with that. And he finished the crowd with a little bit of a touch-up. Number 5, the 5 rescue crew there help me out.
That is just amazing. Oh, we've got to keep an eye on this bloke. He is going to be an absolute cracker.
Who won 3 classes at Monaco? Curry won 2 classes.
All right, so there you go. Lockie McMillan, Mr. Fowler Holmes, parks it up on the beach. We'll take a short break and we'll be back with racing just as soon as they push that boat back into the water. All right, next boat to face the starter will be Tim Betts. So these guys in the boat here at the moment, Tim Betts from Auckland, the builder, Joe Kapua from Tauranga, the driver, the number one Tipperchick. So Violent Tendencies is the name of this boat, and just tickling it around at the moment. As you can see out there, it looks like Joe, she's from what I can see up here, she's fairly short in stature, must stand about 4'2.3", and this is their second race meeting. The boat is a Macraft hull, and it's got a Scott 8.5-inch jet unit. So at the moment, they're looking pretty good. How are they going to go in and out of the hairpin? Too wide! Oh, banked it up. Lucky not to have rolled that over and turned it turtle. But Tim Betts, a good hip and shoulder, just needed to go a bit tighter around that hairpin, obviously. But that would have shaken him up. There is no doubt about that. So he gives it another go. Now he's back on the correct rotation. So just was out there having another practice at that one. So Tim Betts, I tell you what, that would have got Joe's heart rate going. There is no doubt about that. Into the next hairpin. A lot tidier around that, a lot smoother. So Tim Betts really just cruising along at the moment. Of course, this is their second race meeting. So we will see some good things from them. Well, a little bit concerned where he needed to be there, but he got across the line in the end, and we'll get back to you with a time with that one. Okay, we will get back to you with the time there. Ray Ferg now coming out. We are now into the Group A category. So Ray Ferguson used to race around a couple of years ago, decided to get back into the sport. He's got his wife, Nikki Ferguson, sitting in right alongside him. Ray Ferg, the director of Westview Aluminium, out of Upper Hutt. So Nikki Ferguson, Stephanie Murray Mortgages, Bodyworks Paint Panel and Engine Dynamics. And Ray Ferg, as I said, used to race a couple of years ago, sat on the sidelines, and what we tend to find with a lot of racers over the years is they might decide to retire, but then just the bug bites, the itch happens, and they've got to scratch the itch. So Ray Ferg has done exactly that, back out on course at the moment. Last time we saw him racing, he was doing a pretty good job, but it may take him a little time just to get his head around it. You would have thought, but Ray Ferg, well, it's like riding a bicycle, they say. He's back into it very nicely through that hairpin as well. Now into the reverse action around the nut. Heading back towards commentary now. Split the islands into this left-hander around the mouth fresh hairpin. Now it'll be this run for home. Ray Ferg in boat 151, looking pretty good. We will get back to you with a time on that as well. No transponder there for Ray Ferg, so we may need to get somebody to run down and provide the information to those guys. It looks as though our next boat will be Tony Reid. Tony Reid from Waitara, Andrew Bakey doing the navigational duties. Uncle Tony, this bloke has the whitest legs in the history of the world. And you'll know when he takes his overalls off. Now, this bloke, Tony Reid, bought this particular boat. And while he was doing some research on its previous owners, discovered that he'd owned it some 13 years earlier. So 13 years hiatus for Tony Reid. Was competing in the Group B category last year. Decided now to step up into the Group A category. His good mate Bakey in alongside him. So certainly well represented. People from the Taranaki region of New Zealand, and this is just another pairing to do exactly that. Around the hairpin, not too badly there for Uncle Tony. So now coming back down towards commentary, into the left, into the right. This is where the hairpin, this is another one of the money corners. We haven't seen too many people go have too much trouble with it. It's the hairpin just in front of commentary that's causing a problem. Tony Reid now coming into the finish line, and Tony Reid there with a time of 60.289. So Tony Reid just behind Stuart Latham there. Stuart Latham some 5.7 seconds quicker than Tony Reid. On the big screen coming up, you may see different name up there. This will be Clayton and Mandy Tisdall. They were equal first in the Group B category for the New Zealand Jetsprints series last season. Now stepping up into the Group A category. Get Inside and 2 is the name of the boat. So that is not Andy Ryan or Kerry Ann Allen on the big screen there. This is Clayton and Mandy Tisdall. We've had to share some transponders here today due to a couple of technical issues. So Augatalk is one of the sponsors on board, and these guys stepping into this Group A category. We nearly lost them a couple of years ago through some dodgy engine builders doing the wrong thing by them. They had a lot of support from the people within the sport, and back and racing, and well rewarded with a first place equal with Paddy and Jay Hayden last year in Group B. This Group A boat looking pretty sweet at the moment. It is a jet speed hull. So Clayton and Mandy Tisdall now in the run for the line. It's going to be a good time. And into P2 with a 54.759, some 0.3 seconds slower than Stuart Latham in the Ryco machine. All right, this is the next boat. He's one to keep an eye on, ladies and gentlemen. He's the Hyper Sprint by Phil Dick. He built and designed this boat, the Jet Design Co. And Hayden Digby Smith doing the navigational duties. These boys from Hamilton. And Phil Dick, during the 2016 season, he had a certainly couple of interesting runs during that season. Managed to get up and over the tyres a fair bit, but he's looking a lot more confident, a lot more settled this season. He's got a season worth of experience under his belt, and that will bode very well for this pairing from Hamilton. Phil Dick, the mechanical engineer, designer and boat builder, and Hayden Digby Smith, the amateur systems engine and Eastwood. Oh, tell you what, Phil Dick just massively bobbed that down into that left-hand hairpin right in front of commentary. That is the money corner of the day. This rotation is very, very well set as well, in that we don't have too many washing machines. Quite often, as the water and the wake from the boat pushes into other channels, you get a big washing machine effect. This rotation not causing that today. So Phil Dick, he'll be very happy with that time, and puts himself in a P3 in the Group A at the moment with a 58.996. So Phil Dick there from Hamilton. Not a bad run at all. All right, this is Sean Rice and Faye Rice. This is a brand new package out of the Sprint Tech garage. These guys haven't even had time to paint this boat. This is the second lap they've ever done it. So it'll be interesting to see how Sean and Faye go in this, of course, from Elite Kitchens. And these guys, this pairing from New Plymouth, certainly want to go about it very well indeed. Sean Rice wants to take on the world, and he's going to go very well about that. He's just grown in stature since his rookie season last year, and looking incredibly smooth out there at the moment, certainly not pushing it too hard. Of course, his second rotation in this brand new package. Have a look at the way he went around that hairpin. That was absolutely beautiful. And I tell you what, the Naki boys, or the Taranaki region of New Zealand, certainly supporting jet sprinting in a very big way at the moment. So Sean Rice, really impressed with the way he's going with this brand new boat. Really think he's doing a fantastic job. And now through the finish here, what time do we get? And it's a 58.313, puts himself in a P3. Sean Rice, second ever lap in the brand new package. Will be very happy with that indeed. The next boat to face the starter will be Dean and Aaron Riddick, boat number 27. Another group, another pairing from the Naki from New Plymouth, and open to view about Image Classic Carpets, Flooring, Extra Design Solutions, Telfy Young, Taranaki Company of Tiles, Crowded House Bar and Cafe. Wow, geez, I tell you what, these guys show up with a fair few sponsors, don't they?
He went and visited the boys up at the finish of the run last time. As we saw, he did a tidy run, but he went and parked up and saw the rescue crew right at the end, having a bit of a wave to the fans, obviously. Yeah, look, he picked the wrong part of the track because the fans are over this side, but that's all right. You don't expect too much from the boys from New Plymouth, I mean, they're jet sprinters after all. You know, can get a boat around a course pretty quickly. Not too sure about the thinking capabilities. Have a look at Aaron's. Aaron, the navigator's got the big Michael Jackson fluoro glove on. He'd have to get the flashiest glove of the day at this stage. I don't think Dean can miss it. It's very, very bright in your face. Here he goes, hairpin. Gee, I tell you what, he came out wide for that, but did very, very nice. A little puff of smoke coming out of the engine bay as he put his foot into it to get himself out of that hairpin. Nothing to worry about. I'd say just a little bit of overhauling in the breather there. He's just, as he comes off the gas, they've got breathers at the top of the rocket cover and just letting it out there. So he's pushing it along bloody hard here. So coming around for the finish now. Here we go. We want to keep an eye on him after the finish as well, because he switched off last time. Much better that time, and a 60.832. So Dean and Aaron Riddick, well, they'll be a lot happier about that. They've the safety crew have just told them to slow down. Maybe the safety crew just want to have a look at those what's causing the puff of smoke in the back of the boat. Chewy, our main man, has said, yep, no worries, giving them the thumbs up. As you said, Leighton, probably just a little bit of over-oiling out of the breather. Nothing to worry about. Nothing to see here. Move along. Pretty common to go for there, mate. No need to get the old zigzag papers out and start rolling up. We're all good. Andy Ryan, this guy can charge. Wellington boat, well presented, great motor. Actually, Blake Bryant's old engine, this one, so this thing can haul. It'll be good to watch him today. He's a bit of a surprise. And of course, Brian, I've lost his name, doing the engine work on it. Oh, Tauranga built. I'll tell you what. Yep. These engines that they whack out, they are high performance, beautiful runners. And here comes Andy. Let's see where he goes. And the earthworks contractor, and I'll tell you, I had a chat with him last night. He has got some 50 blokes under his watch. So he seems to think it's pretty easy when he comes jet sprinting. He only needs to look after the navigator and his crew. And the hardest part about looking after any of them is actually him looking after himself. As you can hear, he's not scared of the old loud pedal. He's making it rev. He's looking pretty tidy early on, and he's hoping to whack one down here. Kerry Ann's doing a great job of getting him around the course. Here we go. Hairpin. Very nice. He's really come along nicely. Of course, Richard Murray bought this boat off Richard Murray a couple of years ago, and Richard Murray was trying to teach him in his first year, and not too sure that Richard helped a lot. No, some of the stories I heard anyway. Here we go, half a lap to go. Andy bringing it home, and he's really got the gas wound up. There's no mucking around. Here comes the Joker. Over the line. Get it through. Sets his time. Well, just trying to find Andy Ryan into P2 with a 54.75. No, he's parked it up.
How the hell has he managed to do that? Andy Ryan, very nicely done, mate. We like to see you do that sort of thing, mate. The crowd love it.
So was that Andy Ryan?
Yeah, Andy Ryan was the man who just parked it up there. Kerry-Ann Allen sitting in the navigator's seat, just sort of fairly calm about things at the moment because there's not much else you can do until the rescue crew get there and assist you.
I think he took a look at himself on the big screen, actually, just quietly. We've got a few flames just there, nothing to worry about too much, just a little bit of ignition problem at the back, but the guys are calmly down at their business. But I think Andy was busy looking at himself on the big screen there and probably thought, geez, I'm quite a good-looking boat, and blew it. Just
Yeah, well, it wouldn't surprise me. He's probably even doing a little bit of flexing in there, going, Kerry-Ann, have a look at that. Yeah. I just did a fantastic job. Did you see how well I did?
What do you think of this?
Yeah, well, you know, it's very, very interesting all the same, isn't it? You know, and again, that's the second boat we've seen go through the line and then switch off. The brain fades. We've seen, of course, Andy Ryan brain fade in the past, particularly at Mary Mary. Came in, flipped the bird into the commentary tower, hit the rescue boat, and well, instead of being embarrassed, he thought it was hilarious.
He did. No, it was a great run. Good to see. And here's the Stinger rescue boat coming out. This is a boat that's been put together as a riverboat. Nice. Oh, he's fired it up actually inside there, which is good to see. So glad to see they didn't put any water down its lungs before. And just
really good. The safety crew, of course, very, very well trained. In that, we'll just take a short break while we wait for Andy Ryan to get himself back to the trailer.
SAP now?
All right, Carl Brensel now from Tapanui, boat number 32. Hamish Murray doing the navigational duties. Carl Brensel, the driver, the agricultural contractor, and of course Timber Creek Contracting, Performance Autos, High Country Helicopter, Superboats and ENI Lubricants on board as sponsors for this pairing from Tapanui. And way down there on the South Island, so they've got a big drive each and every time. I think they left on Christmas Eve to come up here.
You see the stuff on Facebook, these guys travel from the very, very bottom of our South Island, which is really cool. We've got 2 or 3 teams that venture, and it's a massive effort for them to come to each meeting and the cost alone.
Oh yeah, geez, you know, and getting trying to organise ferry time. Of course, the Kaikoura Road, I think it is now opened again finally after the massive earthquake caused a lot of damage, and I do believe that State Highway 1 being open is cutting down the travelling time finally. Yep, interesting that the navigator there, Hamish Murray, on the palm of his hand, it's white. We can see that very clearly, but the top side of the glove, which is what Carl Rensel will be seeing, is actually black.
Sitting nice in the water, they've got it trimmed up, you'll see the nose sitting up a little bit, so they're not get a speed up.
Yeah, look, and coming into that reverse sweeper up there can provide a bit of tricky. I'll tell you what, a bit of carrying pace over the finish line there, and a good time of 56.368, and finds himself, I'm just trying to have a look at our screen, into fourth. So qualifying round number 2 for the Fowler Homes at Group A, of course, Fowler Homes. Brilliant homes. If you're looking for a new home, get down there, see Lockie McMillan during the lunch break and have a chat in the Fowler Homes tent and see what you can do. Sorry.
What'd you do?
I was busy yakking away there and then I said,
All right, MF King, Harry Wheeland out on track at the moment. Again, mate, I've got to. You might have to operate your own mute button because I can't seem to work it out there, Leighton.
Harry Hot Dog Whelan's, he knows his stuff. Beautiful looking boat. These boys are really having a crack at this is only qual 2 and they're really picking the pace up. Sounding good.
Yeah, these guys, great mates. Jason Conroy, the navigator, the Usain Boat, MF King, Conroy Associates, Buy Tools Online, Spaceboat Story. Oh, very, very nice in and out of that hairpin, and that is the money corner of the day.
It is, as you can see. Like, obviously they're not struggling with the rotation out there. These guys. Oh, well, a little bit of a cock up there. Yeah. He's back on it. That will cost him, Mo, dearly. I mean, he was really looking at a very, very solid time, but it's really going to take the wind out of the sails. Just had a little hesitation.
Yeah, that
comes over the line.
I reckon about 1.5 that would have cost him.
56.413, so still come across with a very tidy time, but as you know, with that little hiccup, there was a good second 1.5 in it there, so he would have been right on it early.
Yeah, I think might have got himself a little bit confused, but very quick, good reaction, got off it, reassessed, got back on it again, and seeing the way that boat, when you get off it, quite often when you put your foot straight back into it again, they cough, they splutter, they fart, they hiccup, and all of a sudden, bang. So that engine is right on song.
Absolutely. Here we go, crowd. Neil Big Deal Marshall, Eagle Automotive, the fully black machine from the Taranaki. He will not hold anything back here. He'll just keep you charging all day as hard as he can.
Yeah, Hayley Brunning here doing the navigational duty, the beauty therapist, and I'll tell you what, she's got a fair bit of work to make anything beautiful out of Neil Marshall aside from his driving.
He's very tidy out of that little sweeper and coming down to the hip, and now this will be the money corner for him. Can he dial it up and get it smooth? Got it beautifully out of there.
Well, spun the wheels just a little bit. Neil just got in a little bit tight there, can go out a little bit wider, won't spin that wheels on the exit, but he's one of these guys, he will know that, and he'll be having a look at the telemetry on the data feedback once they plug it in, and I bet you next time he's a lot smoother out of there.
Bringing it home down the back straight. What can he finish with? Neil Big Deal Marshall, 53.539, straight to the top of the board. He'll be very happy with that. Plenty to work on too, KV.
Oh, absolutely. So lost a little bit around that hairpin. Was smooth in there, but when he got in too tight, the boat just sort of spun the wheels, or the jet unit, the blades just weren't keeping up with the engine. You heard it just bogged down that little bit. He'll be better in and out of there next time.
He won't be running his top blades yet, Neil. He'll put a, normally around that top 9, they'll change a set of blades, find another second. Roscoe, the Mole Travers, coming out of the paddock now. Here we go.
Yeah, Super Mario. I've got to get a Super Mario sound effect for when these guys come out. Uncharacteristically, we saw Ross and his son Shane Travers make a navigational error during qualifying round number 1. And but look, they won't worry about that at all, I wouldn't have thought. This guy's now been around the sport for a number of years, came into the sport with a 3-year plan, took out New Zealand number 1 in the Group B category within 2 years, so was 12 months ahead of his plan.
That's how you get out of a hairpin, KB. That was beautiful.
Oh, that was just fantastic. And this is where we talk about this plan that he set. He's in advance of it, of course, comes from a speedway background, and look, just does such a good job each and every time he's out there, never holds anything back. And look, I think this is going to be a very, very good time.
Solid run, a good 1 second ahead, 52.884, straight to the top of the table.
Yeah, that's a good drive.
Easy 1.2 seconds on Neil Marshall. So Neil he'll be looking at those blades. We've got Cy Gibbon next. So one more boat to go, I believe, in the class. No, two more boats after this, KV. So Fowler Holmes Group A is already starting to be a bit tongue twister.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, after we have a look at Cy Gibbon, there's some interesting news I've just got about Ross and Shane Travers. We'll come back to that in that radioactive boat. But in the meantime, Simon Gibbon and Paul Thompson, the boys from North Canterbury, the Novus Auto Glasses, show us your crack because Novus will sort it out. The brand new Stinger hull, of course, Cy Gibbon been running a couple of years in the jet speedo, so this will be a whole different ballpark for him, but he seems to have his head around it very quickly.
I'll tell you what, for a second time out in a new boat, the Stinger, he's certainly pushing it along hard, and as you can hear that motor, it's very, very revving hard. Lovely out of the head, but a little bit of a hook up there would have cost him a little minimum of time, but going up the top of the track now, he'll bring it down through the bottom, the tight bit, and then bring it home hard.
You'll hear us talk about that hairpin in front of the commentary tower a lot during the day, but that is the win it or lose it corner. And look, Cy Gibbon and Paul Thompson, a little bit hooky out of the top there.
Bit of a mess up the top of the track, but comes home with a 53.910. I think that was, I think he's a solid third position there. Messed up a couple of top corners, really, that top end. Cost him half a second there and a little bit in the hairpin, so not much in it.
Well, that's right. And also coming into that hairpin, he set himself up from a long way out, eased off the throttle. He'll get further deeper before he eases off as the day goes on. Nice run there by Simon Gibbon in that brand new package. As we check out Richard Burt in the Ryco machine. Of course, he's doing the B driving with Stuart Latham.
The Undertaker, here he comes. Pedal anything, this guy.
I'll tell you, this bloke, as we said earlier, he's been in and out of that many boats over the years. He could almost be called a gigolo if he was getting in and out of other things than boats. But one of the things that we do see about this man is that he's the tinkerer. He's like a professor. He thinks. He just does so much work over the years. He's poured buckets of water over blades for hours on end to see how it's going to work. He is a tinkerer. There's no bit tight out of there.
No, absolutely, a little bit of slip there. No, there's no doubt about it. Richard has had more rides than a 100-year-old theme park. There's no doubt about it. He's been around the tracks for a very long time. Coming home tight. He'll be there at the end of the day. He'll want to muck around with some blades. He'll get back to the trailer and a little bit untidy up the top end again. Half a second on that tight turn.
Yeah,
coming home now.
Oh, Richard Burt, big hit. That is massive.
That was a big crash.
That is massive, ladies and gentlemen. That would have hurt like headbutting an iceberg. That was huge.
Rescue crew getting across there now. Hopefully everyone's all safe in there. It was a big hit as he went into the entry. Just caught those tyres right on the edge coming home. Just let go.
Yeah, so the boat fairly well damaged on the starboard side there. Richard Burt and Haley Hoos just in there. You can see the rear wing. That will be no damage. You can peel that one off and throw that away. They're just checking on both driver and navigator. There doesn't seem to be any panic down there at all. What we do in these instances is the safety crew make sure that they're okay. Just check their eyes, make sure they haven't been knocked unconscious, haven't hurt any limbs or anything like that. So we can see our St John's Ambos just making our way over there at the moment. But again, the safety systems in these boats are second to none.
Yeah, I can see some hands moving in there, so hopefully everyone is okay. Like I say, there don't appear to be too much urgency there at the moment, so I think people, we've got some good safety measures in place here. We're very proud of the way...
Actually, just to interrupt you, mate, we've just got news just to hand. That's actually Stuart Latham in there, not Richard Burt.
Wow, okay, sorry guys. Stu Latham, the owner of that boat from Western Australia. He's over there. We do apologise. We had the wrong information on screen, so it's Stu Latham.
Yep, which is interesting. With A and B driven boats, if the drivers swap out, sometimes we get that confused, so we do apologise. Stewie Latham has had a big one. We can see the St John's Ambos over there. They're just checking that he and James Hayden are A-OK. There doesn't look to be any urgency there at this point, so that's a good sign. But that boat rolled 2 to maybe 3 times. We'd love to see the replay on that if we can get Grant Collingwood-Grunter from CTAS to throw that on. He's walked. We've watched it and I've missed it every time.
Yeah.
Can we see it again?
Yeah, we'd like to see it.
I missed it.
Yeah. Now, we can also see Eric Oxema, clerk of the course, down there at the moment. He'll be checking to see what happened, whether the boat actually hit anything in the water or whether it just came out and shimmed out. So we'll go through the footage and we'll try and make it safe for all the races carrying on.
So just waiting. Looks like Grant has decided that as soon as you and I missed the replay 3 times, mate, that we're not getting another opportunity to look at it. And Grant's given us the U-Beauty, the #1 sign.
He does.
So we'll take a short break and we'll be back as soon as we get news of how Stewie Latham and James Hayden are going. But in the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, give them a round of applause.
Stewie is out of the boat. He just waved to acknowledge. So it's great news there, people. We've just got James Hayden next and we're there.
Interesting that the St John's Ambos there were just having a look at the top of Stewie Latham's head. I think they were just realising that he's quite bald.
Skin is actually in, KV. I don't know if I know you're quite a hairy bear, but skin is in.
Skinny's in, right. Yeah, I don't believe you at all. No, that's all still. All right, we got Stewie Latham up here. We'll just try and swing a camera around, mate. That was pretty spectacular. How are you feeling on that one?
Oh, a little bit stiff, but not too bad. More worried about my boat, actually, and James.
How's James fared?
Yeah, he's looking a bit stiff, actually, so we'll see. He's in the Ambo now, and we'll go from there.
Right, now, of course, through no major concerns. It is just standard operating procedure to put you guys into the Ambos. You bypassed it, came straight up here to have a chat to us.
No.
Yeah, I did, yeah, to be fair, and I did have Leighton, so mate, obviously the adrenaline's running high. What happened?
Someone was saying the motor might have cut out. We've just seemed to have lost that suction as we come around, and bang, it was all over, become a passenger.
Right, which is no fun, quite spectacular. I think that's going to end up on Channel 10's Play of the Day or TV3 or whatever it is.
Yeah, unfortunately, it would have been a good run. I was a bit pissed about that.
Well, it was a good run, a 54.905 there for you, so really good run. Please don't swear while we've got the audience, but hey, look, listen, mate, get yourself down to the Ambo. I hope that you and James are okay. I know it's just a preliminary check just to make sure we do that each and every time, mate. Get down there. Thanks for coming up and having a chat.
No worries. Oh, cheers, Gaby. Cheers, guys.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Stewie Latham, and wow, that was a big crash. So you guys might have seen it on the replay, of course. Leighton and I, well, Shrek, well, you know, sometimes we lose a little bit of concentration there, but that's easy to do, mate. We saw something shiny.
We did, mate. Like I say, I was bored looking at making sure we had heads bobbing and people were working over there, and I completely missed the replay. I mean, I saw it live. We certainly saw 3 or 4 little pirouette rolls go on there, so it was a hell of a hit. And as you can see, the impact on that boat as they take it away, there's a bit of work to go there. He's quite happy, actually. He's just come up the stairs.
I'll tell you what, he's not going bad. He's just popped his head back in here to say that he actually went quicker than Richard Burt did, so he's pretty excited about that. I think once he gets down and has a look at the damage of the boat, that excitement might just sort of just level out a little bit.
Yeah, like you say, we really hope James is good. He seemed a little bit shell-shocked, and he's in the Ambo getting checked now, so really it was a big knock and it came on his side. So let's hope James comes through this. I'd say he's going to have a very sore neck out of that.
Yeah, look, and while we've also got the neck braces and everything like that, high impact, high G-forces, and when you come to like the boat just sort of slapped into it, so that just increases the G-forces by, you know, maybe another couple of Gs. So there's probably up to about 8.5 Gs as the boat slaps into the side there, and they're not very forgiving.
They're not. As you can see, we're looking down here in front of us. Eric, the old fat controller, as you always call them, Cavey, they've obviously found a tyre under the water, something that's not holding up, and they're just trying to put that in there and put a cone, an identifying mark to let drivers know as they come through there, the tyre wall does start there. So it's a very fast finish as we come down here, and that is certainly the error. So we don't want to see that happen all day. I know the crowd out there love that sort of thing, but us as drivers and as competitors, we want to make sure everyone's safe and everyone's going fast. So all the best to these guys. We'll be underway very shortly, people. We've just got to go through a couple more tricks.
All right, Peter Roy and Nathaniel, if you guys could go to the main gate, please. Peter Roy and Nathaniel to the main gate, if you wouldn't mind, please. Is that right? No worries. Thank you, mate. Okay, so the public announcement, Peter Roy and Nathaniel, if you could go to the main gate, please, we'd certainly appreciate that. Look, Leighton, I was just getting that community announcement, so I missed a little bit about what you said. What have we got going on down here with this, the Witch's Hat in front of commentary?
We got the old cone going on the course just to let people know that that's basically where the tyre wall starts under the water there. If you come out a bit wide, there is 2 or 3 tyres just out, just going in. As you can see where young Matt is standing in the water, right there is where the tyre wall is. So we think what's happened on the replays is Stewie's come in a little bit wide, clipped there, hooked them in and sent them right into that corner. So that is just there to let everyone know. All the drivers will be told to look out for the Witch's Hat. It'll get a very hard time on that hairpin. So
yeah, they'll need to tie that down, won't they?
Yeah, mate, they're getting the strops on there now.
So, look, mate, we'll just take this opportunity to have a bit of a break. We're going to be a couple of minutes while this gets sorted out. And again, it's just wonderful to see the New Zealand Jet Sprint Association see an issue, onto it straight away, make sure it's not going to be a continuation of an incident and continuation of problems as the day progresses. So, and it's fantastic to see that everybody just rolls their sleeves up and into it straight away. No questions asked, get the job done.
It's all about safe and race pace. Keep up.
Oh, that's one to trash.
We can carry on, mate.
Yes, so Richard Kirby, got a 54. When he did the he got 26 because he actually went through the time. So he, so,
Do you want to have your data? Are we live or not?
Yeah, you've just got a few buttons. Yep. That's got a switch on the bottom of it.
19, was it? 19, 90.
Yeah, so Stuart got a 54,905.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry mate. Should come up and get it right.
Tony's ready.
Okay, we look like we're getting very close to getting back into action. Ollie Silverton coming to the line. Suntough. PSP. Ollie will be looking to improve on that earlier run. Again, not mucking around. He's got the PSP machine. Sprint Tech. Beautifully trimmed up. You can hear that motor going. That 406 Chev is humming. Very, very tidy out of there. Coming into the big sweeping corner. Up to the top end of the track and down to the hairpin. The hairpin's going to be his money corner. Can he keep it? The gas looks good. Beautifully out of there. Absolutely. This will be a cracker of a time if Ollie can keep us up. Jess is doing a fantastic job sitting in the Navins seat. Got him round. 3 corners to go. Winds up the big Group A. Fowler Homes, PSP, Sprint Tech boat. Here he comes down to the finish. Over the line. Great stuff with a 52.189. Straight to the top of the table. There's a fantastic run by Ollie and Jess. They'll be happy with that. Obviously the witch's hat did its job down here on the bottom of the track, just indication wise, so great to see. Well done. Let's go, Ollie. Got a little bit of a hiccup there in one corner, but I think that only cost him, but he certainly had a very, very good run there. He'll be going away there. I think it's a good 0.7 of a hundredths of a second quicker than Ross Travis. So I think he'd be happy with that, KV.
Oh, that was a really smooth run, wasn't it? And it just goes to show the prowess that Ollie Silverton has. Eased off a couple of times, mostly coming into the 2 hairpins. And, wow, look, this is, we predicted a 47, around about there. You know, maybe that was a little bit ambitious, but it's only qualifying round number 2. Ollie Silverton posting really low 52s.
Absolutely. I think, you know, 49 is going to be an absolute mission out there today, but there doesn't look to be a lot left. These guys are on the gas early. They're really looking to lift it up. And I don't know. It's a hard track. It's one of those things when you get the confidence up, that little, that big knock with Stewie just in front of them, you know, things rattled you on the trailer, so it doesn't take much to sort of knock you a bit. But that was the end of Fowler Group.
Fowler Homes
Group A.
Yep.
Got me again, the mouth buster.
Yeah. Well, we do get a little bit tongue-tied up here as the day wears on, of course, mate, and so we're showing really good form nice and early.
Haven't even had a beer, mate.
Yeah, that's right. I'll tell you what, after lunch we might be able to sort that out and that'll calm things down a little bit.
Here comes Frankenstein.
Yeah, Frankenstein, I'll tell you what,